Okay, this has got to be the most ambitious game ever built. I'm talking beyond GTA and even Cyberpunk levels of awesome. You see, Wilderworld are bringing everything you've seen from the movie Ready Player One into real life. And all of this is made possible by creating one large game that's divided up into 4 parts. And we finally have confirmation of what those 4 parts are. Now I'm going to explain all of that, as well as how you can sign up to play the very first phase of the game called Midnight in Wiami, which has a bunch of lucrative rewards such as the 50,000 wild tokens that are up for grabs daily, which by the token's current valuation places the daily prize money at around 35,000 US dollars. So buckle up folks, we've got a lot to cover, and you've got some races to win. Now, in order to play the game, players must first create an account within the Wilderworld game and set up their driver profile. This will lead you to the gaming lobby where you'll be able to see all your racing stats as well as other players. Here you can find the leaderboard where you can view all your competitors, how many races they've won, where you stand, and just how many more races you need to win to reach the crazy daily prize of 50,000 wild tokens. Upon starting the game, you will get to choose between a selection of 3 available circuits: the 9 Lives Racetrack, Lunar Lane, and the Meridian Surge. Now, each of these racetracks have their own benefits, whether that be long straights or winding bends. You just need to figure out which one you are best at. Now, NOS has also been added to the game, which we all know is a standard to any good racing game. If Fast and the Furious has taught us anything, it's that winning a race is not possible unless you've got NOS. And family. Family may even be more important than NOS at this point. NOS provides approximately 40 seconds of high-powered acceleration at the press of a button, so you've got to use it strategically throughout the race. Fuel consumption is now also part of your vehicle, so make sure to top up on both resources by hitting that plus sign before you get started. Before heading to the racetrack, you get to choose between 2 things. The first is whether you want to play the game on keyboard, controller, or even racing pedals, as Midnight in Wiami does have pedal support for all major brands. You will then get to choose between 2 race cars, each with different driving capabilities, so you need to find out which one suits your driving style best. Are you going to capitalize on the straight lines, or would a car that handles the bends best be your weapon of choice? When it comes to racing, you will have the option of switching between third and first person view, depending on which camera angle you are most comfortable racing with. Now, the racetrack is one of the most exciting parts of the map, as it showcases a bunch of accessible buildings that you will be able to explore and shop at once the full game does go live. Until then, you'd need to keep an eye out for shortcuts along the racetrack, as the racecourse is filled with secret shortcuts that may let you cut through them if you're willing to take the risk. So you've got to familiarize yourself with the city of Wiami to make sure that first position is yours. Now, I wanted to do a quick dive into your surroundings because the Wilderworld team has given us a sneak peek at some of the buildings that you will pass throughout the race. Now, these are really cool because they're not just window dressing. In fact, these are shops and services that you will need to make use of in-game in order to level up both your character and fine-tune your race car. First up, we have the cafe at the start of the race, followed by the very first automotive shop called Neon Pistons, where you will be able to repair and upgrade your wheels. This is followed by Sipping Kitten, where you can grab some coffee to increase your run speed. WAM is Wiami's very first museum of modern art. Here you can both view and display any digital NFTs that you own. Workdonald's is where you can find a job working minimum wage in Wiami and even get some cheap food for your avatar. Now, I'm not quite sure if they've included health conditions in the game's realism, so you might want to hold out on the takeout for just a little bit. Airwild is an in-game asset store for you to buy new kicks that will enable you to upgrade your avatar's physical abilities. The Wilder Wheels dealership is where you can get your very own ride, either brand new or second hand. Here you may also trade in your older vehicle for a newer model. Wiami Theatre is where you can watch AI-generated films created by other Wiami citizens. And last but not least, Wilder Records, which is basically the Def Jam records of the metaverse.
First off, fuck your bitch in the click you claim.
Now, I'm going to be doing a deep dive into the Wilder World economy a little bit later in this month, so make sure you are subscribed to the channel with notification bells turned on so that you do not miss out. Also, if you're excited about life in Wiami as I am, then make sure to give this video a thumbs up. hit that like button and tell a friend, because Wild World is big enough for all of us and not enough people know about the project. To give you an even wider scope of just how massive the city of Wiami is, one of the players with early access found a bug in the game that allowed them to leave the racetrack and explore the city of Wiami, which he did, driving around for 23 minutes because the map just kept on going. If you want to check it out, I'll leave a link to West Wilder's video in the description below, just in case you don't believe me. Of course, the game's graphics and the entire world demand some high-end machinery, so you're going to need a decent PC to play the game. Unless, of course, Wilderworld have just announced a major partnership with Nvidia. In the coming years, Wilderworld will become accessible through Nvidia's gaming cloud service called GeForce Now. Much like Steam, this will enable players with lesser PCs to play high-resolution versions of Wilderworld through the use of a monthly subscription. Now, personally, I wouldn't call this a monthly subscription because living in Wiami is going to be so surreal that we may as well call this a rent. Now, if you want to have early access to playing the game, then you're going to have to fill in this application form in order to get in. I'll make sure to link it in the description below so you know exactly what to do and where to go. This will lead you to this type form page where all the requirements are listed before you start. The testing requirements are as follows. You must have an Epic Games Store registered email address. The gaming rig must have at least 32 gigs of RAM. The minimum GPU requirement is an Nvidia GeForce 3080. 6-core Intel processor, and you must own one or more Wilderworld NFTs. Now, I do not own any of those things, but that's not going to stop me from applying for the game. Let's jump into it. So we're going to click the go button and we are in. Okay, so the first thing we're putting in is my name, then surname, email address, Discord handle. Remember, if you don't have any of these things, just go ahead, make one and then fill it in. Twitter handle. I actually forgot what my Twitter handle was at the time. RAM, we're just going to copy everything that they told us in the requirements. So whatever they say, NVIDIA GeForce, we're putting it in exactly like that. Intel 6. Aspect ratio. And let's just say yes. Because I'd love to own one day. Or yeah, let's just say wheels. Cool. That's about it, and we're done. From here, you're going to wait for an email to be sent to you, and once you do get it, you will have full access to the game. The best way for me to describe Wilderworld is that it's a game within a game within a game. Wilderworld is a persistent universe designed for thousands of players to interact together in one city all at the same time. The entire game will be made up of 4 separate games that all interact as one larger gaming ecosystem. Part 1 is an underground racing game focused on casual and competitive racing, very much like what you would have seen in titles such as Need for Speed and Forza. Phase 2 is a mining game where players will collect raw materials and resources in order to use in the larger game. This will come in the form of a strategy game, much like Age of Empires or SimCity. Phase 3 is a first and third person combat game similar to Halo or Fortnite. Phase 4 and the final phase of the game is an online role-playing game that combines all game modes where you are able to travel around the city, making use of everything you've obtained throughout the other game modes. Now this is pretty much what the metaverse looked like in the movie Ready Player One, except here we have Midnight in Miami being the very first building block of this world. Now avatars are probably one of the coolest features in all of Wilderworld, and I know what you're thinking. It's just an avatar, except it's not. You see, here you get to design every single detail to your specifications. Everything that you make is unique to your avatar. If ever you feel you're tired of playing the game or would like to get rid of your avatar, you will then be able to sell your in-game character to anyone else for wild tokens, along with everything you've attached to it. So all those hard hours that you've spent leveling up in the game will actually be of real-world value. Okay, now let me show you just how much detail you're allowed to go into, because this is just insane. Your basic avatar builder allows you to change things such as clothes, hairstyle, facial features, and overall appearance. Well, Wilderworld goes a step further in that it adds what they call DNA blending. Now this allows you to shape your characters by combining a blend of various people. Here you get to choose up to 4 different races of people and whether your avatar may lean stronger in one direction or the other. This grants players unlimited possibilities of finally being able to shape their in-game avatar into their exact image. With up to 10 different samples to pick from, the possibilities are endless. And when it comes to character creation, of course not all of us are purebreeds, which makes this avatar system arguably the best one I've come across in any game. A list of other notable features are eye, lip, and makeup, as well as some facial decorations. Of course, for men, we tend to use facial hair as makeup, and in Wilder World that is no different. Here you can choose from a set of different facial hair designs, and then much like the DNA blending, you're allowed to edit both the thickness and spread of the facial hair mockup. If it were me, I would definitely make my avatar be sporting a beard, because growing one in real life just seems about impossible to do. Also, if you do have any tips about how to grow a beard, make sure to comment it down below. That would be great. Now, body type is also a brand new addition, allowing your character to look as real as possible, with you the creator able to blend different body shapes and sizes to fit your desired look. Like I said, Wilder World are pushing the boundaries of what we thought was possible within the realm of gaming. With a massive roadmap for the year having just been released, the Wilder World team are not stopping anytime soon, with the game in a state of constant growth, as it's still being built from the inside out. If you see something that you don't like or that you think they should improve upon or change, then chances are that that's exactly what they're doing. Take for instance the recent updates. Now, the game has only been live for about a week, but the team has already listened to the feedback and made some notable adjustments in next to no time. On top of that, they have just announced that all of the Wilder wheels will be upgraded to give you a more unique look that is exclusive to Wilder World. Now, instead of going quiet for about 6 years and rocking everyone's socks off with a teaser trailer 1 year before the game's release, the Wilder World team are taking you on a journey through the process of development, which to me is an amazing thing to do, as the transparency really gives you an idea of just how much effort is needed into making a game of this magnitude. And when it does get released, I hope to see you in Wiami.